You're funny, you! Dang it, I'm never good at goodbyes. Hello, friends. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another edition of Steve's Dangits. It's been a while. You'll have to blame the Tampa Bay Lightning and Colorado Avalanche for going 6 and making it at weird times of the week, and it's not my fault. But we're back with this, the final Steve's Dangits episode of the season. Until the next one, there's like a best of, right? There's probably a best of. So let's take a look at the biggest dangits from the Stanley Cup final. But first, the only play that we have remaining from the Eastern Conference final. And ironically, we had this play in Hat Picks as well, because it is both impressive and also a dangit. The New York Rangers have Igor Shesterkin, the Vezina winner, the best goalie in the NHL this season. If anybody was going to be able to take on Andrei Vasilevskiy, it's him. And if Tampa is going to knock off New York, they're going to have to pull out something amazing. Some sort of double one-timer, some toe drag curl backhand. I don't think any of us banked on it going off of like Steven Stamkos' arm or something.
To try to keep their season alive, long range pass. Stamkos driving to the net. Stamkos has the puck. And he scores! What a response, but they are going to have a look at this one.
No question, Igor Shesterkin thought he was interfered with here by Stamkos on the follow-through. Beautiful pass by Kucherov right after the tying goal. Here's the first one. It's in the glove, and then it goes off the body of Stamkos as he flies by. Now, I don't know if he gets it with the shaft of his stick. Shesterkin right away motion. Where does this hit? On first take, it looks like a good goal on that flyby, but if it hits him in the hand, very well could be a gloved-in goal. They're going to take a long look at this one. But if it counts, what a response by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Stamkos thinks it's a good one. He celebrated afterwards like it was a good goal. And here it is again, winding it up to the defensive zone. He beats his man Trouba to the open spot, quick shot, and it just bounces off of him. Now the question is, where does it bounce off of him? It's off of his glove. He does kind of motion through, and he does kind of hit the glove of Shesterkin on the flyby. So is that goalie interference? It's up for grabs, and it goes off of his body in the net.
We have a good goal.
Now they're calling it a good goal.
Yeah, that's not really how I saw it ending. And it's on a goal that was reviewed. That's always going to leave a bad taste in your mouth, but to me, this is a good goal. If Shesterkin gloves it, if he's able to hold on to it, this is a defensive zone face-off at worst, but he can't. It's loose. It goes off of Stamkos' body and in. This is Tampa. This is Tampa in a nutshell. They don't necessarily overwhelm you or dominate you. They win with these little fine margins. The Rangers come so close, but that's a dang it. Now we go to the 2022 Stanley Cup Final between the Colorado Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning. From game 1 and 2, there weren't glaring dangits. I would say game 2 was a collective dangit, because you might remember this, the Avalanche beat the Lightning in Colorado 7-0.
Teams onto the right flank, and down low it's Alex Newhook. Back to Burakovsky, scores! Nichushkin, power play goal! Corey Perry along with Belmar and Maroon, but out comes Cogliano. And Helm with Sturm, shot, scores! Played a different velocity as well. Burakovsky's in again with a pass to Redmond, scores! Andre Burakovsky! Owen Byron steers it in, JT Compher's on it. Worked over by Ruda, lost in center, scores! Nichushkin! And getting a hit on Manson, taken away here by Bolton. That pass doesn't work, and Derek Helms away with O'Connor, and scores! Knocked that away, and now McCarroll, 2-on-1 with Cogliano. Swings wide, Cam McCarroll scores! Drops it off, gets it back. Mikko Rantanen, Makar scores!
This was the first time that Andrei Vasilevskiy had allowed 7 goals in a game since February 2020. And that was a big dang it that night, but it barely got any mention. That same night, the Boston Bruins are defeated 9-3 at the hands of the Vancouver Canucks. That's a dang it too, and that's overshadowed too. You know why? Both of those games happened the same night that the Toronto Maple Leafs lost to David Ayers in their own building! I feel like this is one of the rare instances where everyone agrees that it's okay that I make this one about the Leafs. Regardless, losing 7-0 in the Stanley Cup final, losing by a margin like that, hasn't happened in many a year. In fact, it was the Colorado Avalanche beating the Florida Panthers 8-1 in 1996. That was the last time there was a margin of 7 goals in the Stanley Cup final. Woo! That's a dang it. Moving on to Game 3, the Avalanche are up 2-0 in the series, but here are the Lightning fighting back. And again, this is falling with style, if we're putting it in Toy Story terms. Anthony Cirelli scores a beautiful goal by accident.
The end of the power play, but now it's Cirelli dashing back. Newhook has returned to the ice. Anthony Cirelli to the net, scores! First in 14 games for Cirelli to get the Lightning even.
And you know, you drive to the net, good things happen. Watch this play for Cirelli. He gets the play back from his skate to his stick, and he tries to pull it and actually misses it. So the read for Kemper is it's coming across his crease. And right here at the last second, he loses control as he's coming across with back pressure. Kemper opens up thinking it's coming. Tries to get his stick in the way, and that one goes right as he loses it there, right in the 5-hole, and man, this place erupts.
See, when Kucherov does the no move, it's on purpose. Cirelli actually makes an amazing move with his feet to even get the puck onto his stick, but he misses the move he was going to make on Kemper, and it fooled Kemper, and then just slides right by him. Once again, those pesky Tampa Bay Lightning don't go away. With that goal, ugh, that's a dang it. This next goal is from Game 4. It belongs to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and even though the Avalanche won this game, even though the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, Drew is still salty about it. The Avalanche surrender a goal while Darcy Kemper doesn't have his mask on.
He's bumped along the boards by Taves, Chernak, McDonough, shot, bounce through, loose puck, big stop, Kemper with Hagel on the doorstep, Chernak fired, mask off, puck in, they're gonna count it. Seconds in, and the Lightning strike first.
John Cooper has started this Cirelli line in all 4 games now, and that early tip didn't allow Kemper to get control. Now it's a bit of a disaster in front with all kinds of bodies. Now that first shot hit him right on the chin, knocked his helmet off as Chernak with the hard shot. You can see it snap off, but the rebound right on the following play. Kelly Sutherland didn't hesitate at all. He's the official right behind. Had the play gone on for longer, it's a continuation of the play, and he points right down as the Tampa Bay Lightning trying to light a fire, get it early.
Death, taxes, and it always being either Anthony Cirelli or Andre Palat. This shot just beans Darcy Kemper right in the face. Just right in the face, and that can't tickle. His mask comes loose, his mask comes off, but the play continues, and the Lightning score. That goal's getting called back, right? Actually, that is a goal. You can't blow the play dead because the rule for when a goalie's mask comes off leaves wiggle room for an imminent scoring chance, which you could easily argue the Tampa Bay Lightning definitely had here. Here's the dang it. That's a bit of a weird rule. Like, I get it. Like, if you didn't have that rule there, goalies would just be shaking off their mask left and right. It would definitely be a way to game the system. But also, the only time where a goalie's mask coming off doesn't blow the play dead is when they're in the most danger. No. Hey, goalie safety is paramount. When their mask comes off, we blow the play dead. Unless the team that the goalie is facing has an imminent scoring chance where they fling the puck made of vulcanized rubber directly at their face. Like, this puck could have hit Darcy Kemper right in the teeth. Just right in the teeth. And it would have been no one's fault. Steve, do you have a suggestion for how to make the rule better? No. I'm pointing out that it's weird. It is weird, but hockey's weird. That's a dang it. Another dang it from Game 4. Producer Drew is adorable. Up to you if you want to mention the Too Many Men Kadri goal. Yeah, I think I'm going to mention the Too Many Men Kadri goal.
And it won't be icing. Lightning get a change, but now they're going to be caught. Here comes Kadri shooting.
It's in.
And it's in, or is it? Where is it? Does Vasilevsky have it?
No, it's in. It's in the back of the net.
And yes, it is a Nazem Kadri game-winning goal. And the Colorado Avalanche are on the cusp of the cup.
What a sequence of events. As Vasilevsky just under siege made a couple of heroic saves, but here's the play, just pushing it to an area, goes right in, up and tucked underneath the bar there at the back. And Nazem Kadri, what an impact he has, comes in through, look at, put it to an area. Sergachev had been out there for a minute 38. He was dead tired. He didn't have anything to the outside, so Kadri, bad hand and all, and that one slides up and tucks under. I don't even think Kadri knew initially. Lehkonen with the nice pass. Nifty move underneath the arm and up and under the bar to give Colorado their third win.
Well, this will go down in Stanley Cup playoff lore. Nazem Kadri with a broken thumb 18 days ago comes up with the game winner tonight.
So, here it is. It's been analyzed to death over the last week, but the Colorado Avalanche score the game-winning goal, a goal that made the series 3-1 for the Avalanche instead of potentially 2-2 for the Lightning. I don't need to tell you how big this goal is. And the Avalanche score this goal with 6 players on the ice. There's no debate here. There's no debate. There were 6 players on the ice for the Avalanche. You want to know the funny part? You want to know the really funny part? If you look really closely, the Tampa Bay Lightning have 7! 7! Now, the complaint, and it is kind of a legitimate complaint, is that Nathan MacKinnon, while going off the ice, is still not even off the ice when Nazem Kadri handles the puck. I'm gonna tell a little story, if you will. I've brought this game up many times. I've always talked about hockey and how on earth do you explain hockey to someone who has never watched it? How do you explain hockey to someone from scratch? I actually got the opportunity to do this once. I actually got to take a family friend to a preseason game in Toronto. It was Habs Leafs, and he'd never even seen a hockey game on TV, but he just wanted to give it a shot. And here I am like, okay, penalties are going to be difficult to explain. Icing is a bit weird. That's a foreign concept. It's not really in a lot of sports. And offside, that is in other sports, but hockey calls it a little different. The first thing he noticed when the game started is, oh, players just change. And I was like, what? But oh yeah, in basketball, in soccer, in football, you have subs. Like, there's no guys just coming on mid-play. Hockey, lacrosse, that's it. And there are rules that keep it in line and everything, but those rules leave a lot of wiggle room, and not everyone is satisfied with the wiggle room. But as Ryan McDonough of the Tampa Bay Lightning ended up saying the day after, that's a play, the play that ended up winning the game. Nazem Kadri, broken thumb, he comes back. What an amazing story. That sort of play, where there are too many men on the ice, very temporarily, happens a million times a night. In fact, Tampa has benefited from this. It happened glaringly in the first round. It happened in Game 7 against the Islanders last year. John Cooper won the Calder Cup in 2012. Yes, my memory does go this far back. Because a goal was offside, the AHL apologized that the overtime winner for Game 3 of the Calder Cup final was offside, and the outcome was oops. The outcome was oops. Yes, it was offside, but oops. Are you going to replay the overtime? Nope, just oops. So to me, with this goal, even if Tampa did have a leg to stand on, they wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Another part of this, dang it, is Nazem Kadri, the story of the playoffs. That is the story of the playoffs. Kadri comes back more than a month early from thumb surgery to play in his first ever Stanley Cup final, scores the OT winner in his first game back, and all we can do after the game is talk about the too many men that was and wasn't. Again, in this sport, we gotta be able to celebrate when goals are scored. It's hard. It's really hard. We never know when a goal is gonna count or shouldn't have counted. So I say screw it. Celebrate every goal with your whole chest. That's a dang it. Now, Game 5, the Avalanche have a chance to win the Stanley Cup, and Vasilevsky gave 2 gifts to the Avalanche. First, there was this one. How often do you see Andrei Vasilevsky do this? Easy save, and he drops it.
Landeskog wins the draw. Back it comes Makar. Right on, scores! Now Nichushkin has tied it. And there is the importance of the faceoff.
The reaction of Nick Paul said it all. You just never want to give your opponent that kind of chance. I'm sure Bednar didn't even have to tell the McKinnon line to jump out there, but this is one that you don't see often. The deflection off his own guy. Watch out high, it gets a little bit of a knuckle puck, and he doesn't see it. He's got no idea where it is, and Nichushkin on the doorstep, able to get to that one first. What a playoffs he's been having. Hadn't had his point in 2 games.
I should say easy save. Every save seems like an easy save for Andrei Vasilevsky. He drops this one. It's a tap-in. That's a dang it. Surely Tampa is going to lose the cup tonight. Oh, wait, we're not done. The Lightning kicked the puck into their own net.
So that's a team record for McKinnon. Nichushkin scored the goal. McKinnon assisted on, and now Makar shooting, rebound, scores! Game time! Val Nichushkin!
Deja vu all over again from Game 4. An early goal in the 3rd period to tie it up. Very similar. Get traffic in front, get the puck to the net. We saw it earlier with the Calgary shot. This one, the rebound coming back off the skate of Chernak and goes through the legs of Vasilevsky. Makar is going to be the one. I thought Nichushkin might have got a piece of this. The left skate of Chernak as he's battling Nichushkin. The stick is in there. Does it hit the stick? Oh, it might have. The stick of Nichushkin, the skate, and then Vasilevsky trying desperately to close the 5-hole. Unable to do so.
Do you know what a gift this is? In an elimination game, the Lightning essentially score 2 goals on themselves. They have 2 dang it's that lead to goals against in the same game. You gotta wrap it up tonight, because that is a dang it. But I think far bigger than either of those dang it's is the fact that Colorado wasn't able to close it out at home. Tampa does not give goals like that away, and they especially don't give them away in elimination games. Oh, to hoist it on home ice would have been beautiful. That's a dang it. Oh, and the ultimate irony, in the dying minutes of the game, this happens.
And they'll play the majority of here on in.
Bill Makar comes out. There's McKinnon over the line. There's Nathan McKinnon shooting. The whistle had sounded.
You're not going to believe this, but I think Colorado's getting too many men on the ice here, coming in and joining the play.
Colorado bench minor, too many men on the ice.
Oh boy. You know, the plays, you got 3 in the offensive zone and 3 in the middle. That's just, I'm not sure what Nichushkin, he came charging out, but nobody had even come. Byron, did he go back on? Yeah, it was.
But then 2 more come out.
If you remember Game 4, didn't get a call there. It meant an overtime winning goal here in Game 5. What a time, 2:38.
You're funny, you! Too many men on the ice for Colorado. The first game after John Cooper. Oh my, you're funny, you! That's a dang it. That's also very funny and also very unfortunate. But a dang it and funny and unfortunate and a dang it. Which brings us to Game 6. The Stanley Cup winning goal, in my opinion, is a dang it. It's many dang it's in one. Maybe we can show it once and then break it down.
Following it up, and on the far side, Mikko Rantanen. Up ahead, Manson, 3-on-2. McKinnon tried to give it back. Shot scores! Arturi Lehkonen.
Lightning are just irate as Manson knocked his man down. That created the odd man rush. Look at the argument there. Maroon better be careful not to take an extra one and follow the bouncing puck. It's a play by McKinnon in the middle that just chips it over to Lehkonen. But going the other way, watch the takedown here. Stick into the body. Down goes Bellemare. Up goes Manson, and then this one bouncing in the middle. A pass across, and just a quick release. Look at Vasilevsky was sliding over to his right, and we've seen so often him being able to track those. Manson tries to pass, McKinnon tries it back, and the quick release beats Vasilevsky over the glove, and then look at the reaction. Bellemare wanted to call, McDonough wanted to call, Maroon all in his face, and they're not going to get one.
Did you see that? Did you see it all? All right, let's go through it again. Tampa Bay Lightning were very upset after this goal was scored, not just because they were down in the game, in a game that they were winning. Ooh, could have forced the game 7. They were winning. They were very upset because they thought there should have been a penalty called way further down the ice between Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and Josh Manson. They thought Manson hauled him down. I'm sorry, this is a flop. Look closely. Bellemare's holding the stick. He's holding, look at this. He does like a chicken wing thing. This is, every player who tries to draw penalties ever has done this in their career. It happens all the time, and sometimes it works. It didn't work here, and it cost the Lightning their season. At worst, at absolute worst, both guys go because of the hook, or whatever you want to call it, and the embellishment. It's 100% embellishment. It leads to a 3-on-2 in which Josh Manson is involved, and I think the heartbreaker here for Tampa is not getting the call. It's the Avalanche flubbed this play and scored anyway. McKinnon tries to go back to Manson, but it goes off of a leg and to Arturi Lehkonen, who is not named Mikko Lehtonen. He is Stanley Cup winning goal scorer, Arturi Lehkonen, with his second consecutive series winning goal for the Avalanche, except he was actually called the right name this time. And then what happens after the whistle is wild. First, Patrick Maroon two-hand slashes Josh Manson, and if Manson doesn't make a move to avoid the slash, he's potentially done for the game and series. And within seconds of that, Steven Stamkos fires the puck at Gord Dwyer. He fires it at one of the dudes wearing stripes. Dude, you're so lucky this is Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, because the Lightning, in any regular season game, maybe even in the first round, they're playing the rest of this game with 10 men. Maroon, game misconduct. Stamkos, game misconduct and suspension. Dude, a player on the Calder Cup winning team in the AHL has been suspended for 2 games after winning the championship because in the team championship photo, he gave the finger. He made an obscene gesture. I don't know if I'm allowed to say exactly what he did. I don't want to get demonetized. Stamkos fired the puck at an official. I don't claim to know everything about hockey. I promise you can't do that. That's a dang it. And strangely, not the most bizarre one. Dying moments of the game, the Lightning, they still have lots of time to tie. Now, they had just gotten screwed out of an icing call. That was annoying if I'm on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And also Nikita Kucherov's stick broke. And when he went back to the Lightning bench, they didn't have a stick ready for him. So he proceeds to take off his gloves and throw them at the trainer. Dude, look at the clock. Look at the clock. There's like still 20 plus seconds left on the clock. The Lightning can score with that much time left. Absolutely. They're the back-to-back reigning defending Stanley Cup champions at the time. I have never seen a player lose their head like that against their own team mid-play in the dying seconds of a playoff game. And what's even more amazing, that was like the better part of a week ago. Have you heard anyone ask Nikita Kucherov about that? Have you heard a comment from anyone on the Lightning? If there has been one, I've missed it. I feel like we should be asking more questions about one of the top offensive weapons in the entire league, a former Art Ross Trophy winner, a former Hart winner, a guy who was leading Tampa in scoring these very playoffs, taking off his gloves and throwing them at members of his own organization mid-play in the dying moments of a Stanley Cup final game. That's wild. What's the equivalent in another sport? Imagine if LeBron James just like took off his shoes and started throwing them at the LA Lakers bench, like mid-playoff game. Now imagine that happening and no one really talking about it after, and him not having to be like, yeah, so here's why I did that. What? That should be the number one story. Outside of the Avs, outside of, everyone with the warm and fuzzy pieces after a team wins the Stanley Cup. But too many people are like, oh yeah, Tampa, heart of a champion, they'll be back next year. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great. What about Kucherov throwing his gloves at the bench? That's wild. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and no one's talking about it. That's a dang it. For our next dang it, Nazem Kadri says what's on his mind, and probably, this is going to do it, probably gets us demonetized.
Naz, you have a lot of fans down in Southern Ontario, London, of course, Toronto, etc. What do you want to say to all those fans out there that have stuck with you and wanted to see you have this moment?
I love you guys. I love you guys. That's all there is to be said. I mean, I've had supporters in my corner from day one, never wavered. And, for everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs, you can kiss my ass.
Congratulations.
He said, kiss my bottom. I would like to correct him. He said, kiss my bottom. I'm of two minds on this. Dang it belongs to anybody who doubted Nazem Kadri ever, because he's clearly an amazing player. The dang it is also saying that word on national television. How dare you? But also, okay, you won the Stanley Cup. You won the Stanley Cup. Heart of a champion, heart of a lion. But, you got suspended 3 times, man. The Avs might have won the cup last year if you didn't get suspended again. It's worth mentioning that not only has Kadri been suspended 3 times in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but his team lost all 3 of the series he was suspended in, 2 in Toronto and 1 in Colorado.
For everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs, you can kiss my ass.
I don't even know if that's a dang it. I just wanted to show it again because it's a really funny quote. And now forever, Nazem Kadri is a Stanley Cup champion. Now, how did Nazem Kadri get to be a Stanley Cup champion? Well, general manager Joe Sakic traded for him, of course. He wasn't fired in 2017. I don't know if you saw the tweet going around. So here's my tweet from June 28th, 2017. Joe Sakic really ought to be fired. Look at this nonsense. And then it links to the Colorado Avalanche cap-friendly page. And, that page updates. So it's just today's cap-friendly page, and they're the Stanley Cup champions. That tweet was then retweeted by Freezing Cold Takes, the Twitter account with over 500,000 followers. Any of you ever been retweeted by Freezing Cold Takes? Sucks. Really sucks. But you know what else really sucks? That tweet. Listen, the Avalanche were coming off of a sub-50-point season. They looked horrendous. Nathan MacKinnon looked horrendous. It looked like there were no players on the team. There was no hope. There was no future. They did have some prospects. They did have some RFAs. But it looked like the road was going to be a long one for the Avalanche. Then the Duchesne trade happens, and holy smokes do the Avs start to turn it around in a hurry. Forget not firing Joe Sakic. They also don't fire Jared Bednar after the season that he had. They acquire this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Sign this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Draft this guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Joe Sakic, since that tweet, has been the best general manager in the National Hockey League. He's definitely top 5. There are a few guys who you can maybe put in the conversation with him, like Julien Brisebois. I'm going to say top 2 at minimum. Steve, buddy, never tweet. That's a dang it. And last but not least, the Colorado Avalanche do their best to make the Stanley Cup one-dimensional.
Behind him. This is one of my favorite moments, Chris, in 1988, Wayne Gretzky. Oh, there's a little bit of a tumble. It's
Fumble by Nicholas Aube-Kubel, and he may hear about that for the rest of his career. Yeah, and he won't care because he's right in the middle of it. And there's Eric Johnson. 2022 Stanley Cup champs.
Never say Nicolas Aube-Kubel didn't make an impact for the Avalanche. Skates into the team photo, drops it, flattens it, does instant damage. You see it right away. And this amazing Renaissance painting. I can't tell which Colorado Avalanche player it makes me laugh the most. I can't tell which face. It's all legendary. Tag yourself. I think I'm Nathan MacKinnon. And then if you see pictures of the Stanley Cup in the days that have followed, they've definitely dropped that thing more than once. That poor trophy. That's a dang it. So, that is it for this final, not final, edition of Steve's Dang It's. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends. Best of, coming eventually. And handle the Stanley Cup with more care. Oh God, the parades today.